So happy to have you here. Congrats. This is really an accomplishment for the first time you directed and wrote a film. It's a beautiful film.
Thanks for having me.
Were you, at what point of being an actor did you think to yourself, oh, I want to direct one of these or I want to write one of these?
I have a very odd life because I started off wanting to be a writer-director my whole life, and then I kind of accidentally fell into this amazing 16-year acting career, which has been an insane journey and is an insane journey as well. But it took me a long time to figure out I hold the position of director in such high regard that I didn't want to just be some actor goofing off trying to do it. It's something that matters to me, something that's important to me. And so I took 4 years and I waited till I had a story that really meant something to me.
It's called Mid-90s. It's about a group of kids in the mid-90s. They're skateboarders. That is the culture. I have to assume that you were pulling from something from your own life because of the amount of specificity to this world. Like, this had to have been something that you experienced to some degree.
Yeah, I mean, I was a horrifically terrible skateboarder. I would film because I like to tell people what to do, and I wanted to be a director, so it was the perfect role in that group of friends, and I was unathletic. So you know, the story's about, it's not a biopic, but it's personal in the sense that I relate to being 13, I relate to being lonely, and I relate to something giving you a community outside of your home and a group of friends and something to fall in love with. And ultimately, this movie is just about a group of kids at a time when it's you and your friends versus the world, and your family is less important than your friends.
I've heard you refer to it as an Animal Kingdom movie, and I'm assuming that refers to just the pecking order of kids at that age and how some are more dominant than others.
Yeah, well, the kid's like 13, and then there's another kid who's like 14 who kind of is the first one that talks to him, and then there's kids up to like 18, 19, so he's kind of figuring out how to move around the chessboard and figure out how to fit in and then move up. And I don't know, it's just, I kind of feel like all of the characters in some ways, because I feel like when you're young, in the 90s especially, I don't know if you relate to this, a big part of the movie is like the corniest thing you could do is try or care about anything. And that's a big part of the movie, is that none of them care, and it's kind of showing off how little they care. I mean, they're pretty much beautiful morons, and essentially, like my friends and I were, you know, which is like, they make so many mistakes, they speak in ugly vernacular, there's toxic masculinity, homophobia, things that are true to the time and truly hard to watch, but I felt would be more offensive to be revisionist and to change the way it was than to hold a mirror up to how ugly it was. So these kids do things, they endanger each other's lives, but at the same time they deeply love each other. So nothing's really black and white, and the movie's not black and white, and I hope, if I'm lucky enough to get to do this again, to always create complex characters that are challenging what our definitions of good and bad are.
One thing that's amazing is, no matter how good a script you wrote or how well you directed it, obviously it was very reliant on the cast, and you went outside of just natural professional actors, and you cast a lot of skateboarders to be the actors in this film.
Yeah, and I actually wanted to finish my point because I went astray for one moment, which is just, that's totally on me, by the way, not on you. But the idea is that the corniest thing you could do was to care.
Yeah.
And there's a kid named Ray in the movie, a character named Ray, who's played beautifully by one of the first-time actors, Nakel Smith. And he tells this kid in a way that's not corny and subtly, basically, he does care, and he's trying at life. And I found, whether I was the young kid trying to fit into a group or the older kid trying to make someone else kind of care a little bit, when someone older takes the moment to show you something in a non-corny, sweaty way, it sticks with you for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
You know, and it's really a very moving story, even if at times it's hard to watch, and it's funny, and it's crazy.
It's really funny, and I can't believe that they weren't actors. I mean, like, and you tell because, by the way, I know
now.
They are now.
Yeah.
I know actors, and once they start skateboarding, I'm like, oh, that's not actors who learned how to skateboard. This is definitely the other way around.
So I did basically everything to make this incredibly difficult for myself. My lead was 11 years old. You're not supposed to work with children.
Fantastic.
Sonny Solchick, he's brilliant. The rest of the cast, besides his family, played by Catherine Waterston and Lucas Hedges, both brilliant actors, are first-time actors, and they're all real skateboarders. A lot of them are professionals, or semi-professional, and skateboarding, which is always constantly butchered in film. So I chose a subculture that doesn't want to be spoken about and doesn't want the kid from Superbad making a movie about them. I chose to work with children, which are notoriously, you're not supposed to work with children or animals. And I also decided to take on the duty of elegantly framing hip-hop, which is another subculture often butchered on film that doesn't want the kid from Superbad making a movie about it, about how this music is the emotional backbone of my and a lot of people's childhood, and how Tribe Called Quest is to me what John Lennon is to my parents,
Yeah.
right? And I guess I'm comfortable in discomfort and comfortable with a lot of challenges because it turned out to be the most beautiful, challenging, emotional, incredible experience in my life. And I am genuinely, I have to come on here and sell whether I like it or not. I'm being dead serious. I could be on here next time, telling you something.
Wait a second, you've lied to me?
I love seeing you. I love seeing you. And I love seeing you, and I love seeing you, and I love seeing all of you. And sometimes I have to be on here on some bull, and this movie is my heart. I spent 4 years making it. I care about it. I love it, and I promise you, if you go see it, you will be moved and laugh and enjoy yourself. So thank you. Go see it.